There we go. All right, I'm trying to find my buttons, man. Hey, what's good? What's popping? Rock, I'm not gonna lie, I was trying to mix and mingle some things around. Almost hit in stream. So thank God I didn't do that. But we here. I try to get us up out of here before we even arrive. But hey, man, it's the cook up in the morning, baby. It's kind of quiet this morning, man. It's a nice, quiet, enjoyable moment, man, for the morning time. I think it's supposed to be 80 degrees today, Rock. So walk my dog. Had to go help my mom's out, fed my kids, man. It's spring break. It is going down up in here, brother. But I'm glad I'm on here with you. I'm glad I'm on here with my people. And I'm glad we could bring what we usually bring in the mornings, baby. So how you feeling this morning, bro, before we get started, before we jump into things? I mean unmute you. My bad, brother. I muted you early. There we go.
It's all good, Fizz. Fizz, I'm feeling great. Did a 10-minute little walk right outside just to get my mind right for this show. But I'm looking forward to the show. We have a topic that has been discussed many different ways, but I like the spin that we put on it this morning. So I'm excited to cook up with you and invite our guests into the Cook Up restaurant.
That's it. And I will say, when I brought this topic up, my boy, I ain't gonna say he pushed back on me about it, but he wanted to know what is the reason? Why are we doing it? Right. And I'm kind of glad he did it because we, being who we are, came up with a good solution to a good format. So without further ado, baby, this is Tuesday morning. This is the cook up. Don't know where you at, don't know what you're doing, but we're glad you're here today. Let's get it popping, baby. Yes, sir. Just like that, we back. Rock, I don't know if you know, but I said, hey, we got to get us a fire ticket these days, man. We can't go with just the gray and white. We got to put some light into this thing. So, hey, man, we got the draft picks up top, man, just for those that need to pay attention and need to know what's going on. This is the draft order that I got up here. But, Rock, man, that'll be back. What's popping, big dog? What's good with you?
Fizz, I couldn't understand anything you were saying because I was mesmerized by this new ticker that we got. Oh my God, that looks so sweet. It's just too bad the first few picks are just with trash ass teams that we have to look at.
Well, that's usually how
Browns,
drafts go, right? The
Commanders,
trash
yeah.
teams. You feel me? If it was all good teams, we wouldn't be a league. You know, we'd be dominated on one side, brother. So
let's give a round of applause for Fizz for that. We're always cooking up something different. We're always innovating. Fizz, that's the main thing that I think kills a lot of restaurants is they stay stagnant.
yeah.
Like they have clients that come in, it's like, well, we can't change the recipe because we got this old couple that comes in every Sunday and they want the same meatball recipe they've had the last 30 years. But everyone else is just like, man, I'm tired of this same old stuff. So I'm glad that we have that in our formula, in our recipe. We're always thinking of different ways of just changing things up, tweaking them just a little bit, but staying true to ourselves. So I'm excited for this show, Fizz. I think that's dope. How do you want to kick off the show?
Well, I want to kick it off with the people first, big dog. We got to holler at the people, man. Let's get them out the way. Well, not out the way, but let's seek them in their seats. You know, let's greet them. You know what I'm saying? Meet and greet, baby. So Patty Mills, he said he grinding at work, man, but he is free at 11. I think I see my dog again in the chat. So that means he here. We appreciate you for show. My boy Jake said he be trying, man, but he working good. He working hard. And Jake, we ain't mad at you, man. We glad that you at least pregame, even if you missed the game. All right, we still love you though, bro. My boy Voorhees, man. Hey, Rock. I thought I was gonna have a guest appearance today. I told him I never had a live audience. My boy said he's gonna come over today, so I said, all right, cool. You can watch me do the show, but he couldn't make it. But it's all good because he made it to the chat, man. That's what it's about. Pops up in here. What's good with your pops? Jay Cap. It's been a minute, man. How you feeling, Jay? Nice to see you, big dog. My man Red, man. Red said, what's good? Red, man. We gotta link up soon, my brother. You know, you a mysterious character, man. But I like your style, big dog. All right. What else we got up in here? My boy Connor, man, Mr. Onion is in the building, baby. We like to see that. Merc up in here, man. He said, hey, man, Fizz and Rock, man, like Pac and Big. Hey, I'm just saying, man. Which one are you, Rock? You big or you Pac, man? Which one?
Whichever one you don't want, Fizz, I'll let you get the first choice because both of them, both of them die. So at a very young, unfortunate situations.
Well, I say this: you seem like a revolutionist. You seem like a guy that'll write the poems, that'll stand on business, that'll be in Congress, writing, getting us in the right ship in America. So I'm gonna give you Pop, even though that's my man. Now, I'm a little player, man. I'm a little stylish. I got a little bit of flow with me, so I'm fat, black, and ugly, and they love me. So I feel like Biggie sometimes too. You feel me? So I'll take Big. I ain't mad at that, man. I ain't mad at that, man.
Sounds good.
Eric Brown in the building. What's good with you, big dog? I remember you always come through on draft day. Mock time, we will get that locking in real soon. And Red said, "Rock spoiler alert." Hey man, I figured Rock was gonna let me get my pick of that, but it's all good. I ain't the GOAT, but I'm feeling like one today, Rock. So we're gonna fill it up. We're gonna see what's good. We're gonna see what's popping. But we can start off however you want to start off, bro. I know today is the fantasy versus football theme, and I really want to bring this up because it's a conversation that we usually have anyway. I do this through various shows that I have, and I like to discuss the difference because I think as a fan of the game, as a fan of fantasy, we always get lost in, man, I need my favorite player, but I like my favorite player, but I don't want to draft this guy because he's on this team, and then we go back and forth, this, that, and the third. So today we just kind of wanted to refresh, regroup, and especially before the fantasy season kick off. What are the differences between that real football and fantasy and why we love both of them so much? And sometimes, Rob, we don't know how to say which one is different. Sometimes we get lost, like we play fantasy how we like our real games in real teams. So that's what we here today, man, to kind of refresh you on what's going on and what's popping. And hey, Rob, you came up with a good idea. Well, I came up with a good idea. You expanded on this good idea, and we came up with this good recipe, man. So I'll let you kick it off, man. We're going to start off first with this thing, and we're going to keep it going from there.
Fizz, let's talk about the biggest overall disconnects between fantasy football and NFL football. Let's start off with injuries are a case by case and often matter more than people think, Fizz. So when you think of the biggest injuries from the 2024 season that bled into the 2025 season, what were some of those ones? What were the biggest narratives that people were saying? I'll kick it off with you, Fizz.
You said the 2024 season, right?
Yeah. So we'll talk about the 2025 season upcoming.
Oh, okay. You okay? I got you. The biggest things coming in from 2024. Now you got me thinking. It was a lot of injuries, man. I say this: the biggest ones are usually the running back injuries. The running back injuries to me are always key because we don't know how long it's going to take. We don't know, especially in our fantasy leagues, where do we draft them? Man, this guy might be 6 weeks out. But we know, thinking of a guy like Chris Godwin, I'm gonna bring up Chris Godwin because that was my man last year, and I told you, Rock, 2025, Godwin, I'm taking Godwin, and he really didn't shine the way I thought he was. He came off a major leg injury or ankle injury, and I remember you refreshed me and said, bro, it's not just one. He gets like 4 injuries in this leg of his, right? So I, being who I am, was like, look, man, I trust him, man. I think he's gonna get where he needs to be. Then they end up having Mbuka take a step. They had Mike Evans get hurt, and Chris Godwin just didn't get the juice he needed. But Chris Godwin is the one I'm going to bring up because I was really stamping it. I don't care. He's almost a year out of that injury. He'll be okay. His wife, I think, is a doctor or some in the medical field. So we thought that was just going to be the medicine he needed, and damn sure it wasn't. So I would say Chris Godwin is probably top 2 or 3 on my list for sure as far as players 2024 and 2025 off injuries.
Chris Godwin, 2024 Fizz, he averaged 19.7 points per game. Guess what his average was in 2025?
11?
9.2.
I wasn't too far off, but I knew it wasn't there 19, that's for sure.
Pretty big difference, huh? Yeah, so Joe Mixon was another guy who I was just screaming at our audience in every draft that we did with them on Tuesday nights. Do not draft this guy. Stay away from him. We don't know anything about this injury. It seems super shady. He didn't play at all, Fizz. And then he was just released, a couple of weeks ago by the Texans. So that was another huge one. How about Rashee Rice? What do you think of him in 2024 to 2025?
And that was the biggest thing, right? You know, I forgot about Rashee Rice because you had me thinking once you brought it up, who were the guys? And I remember that Rashee Rice coming off of a Super Bowl. Did they win the Super Bowl that year, or did they? No, they went and they lost, right? Did they win that year?
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
they lost to the
won.
Eagles.
They did. And that was a tough year because Pat Mahomes is the one that got him hurt. Remember, he kind of fell into his leg and took his guy out. But coming back into last year, man, you know, he's a target hog. Like they seem to just force feed him the ball. His skill set to me, though, Rock, is not like a Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill coming off of an injury, he needs his speed. He needs his explosive juice to kind of get where he goes with his game. Rashee Rice can kind of mask that injury, man. He doesn't have to be 100% to be Rashee Rice. I think a lot of other receivers need to be 100% to be who they are. So, but coming in last year, though, Rashee Rice took off. He did what he did. His problem is more outside the field than on the field, man. So I kind of trust Rashee Rice, even if he's not at 100% off of his injuries.
That was actually kind of a trick question, Fizz, because in 2024,
yeah, because he had a good year. I was about to say, hold up, man.
In 2024, he averaged 16.2 points per game, Fizz. Last year, he averaged 18.8 points per game. So he got to step up. But Fizz, he only played 9 games. So that's the main reason why I still put him on this list, is because what do we always say? Or at least what I always say, what the best ability is, it's availability. So if you draft a guy, even at that price that he was gone, I think he was gone in the 40s and the 50s overall, Fizz. If you get him for less than half the season, was that still really worth it? I don't know. I don't really necessarily think so. But regardless, we had to think about the fact that with that major injury that he was going to miss a decent amount of the season. He missed far more games than people imagined he was going to miss. So we bring this up to say Patrick Mahomes, Daniel Jones, Jaden Daniels, Joe Burrow, my guy, Cameron Scatterbo, Quinshon Judkins, Tyreek Hill, Malik Neighbors, Garrett Wilson, Sam Laporta, George Kittle. Fizz, all those names I just rattled off are some of my favorite players. They're some of the best players in the NFL, and every single one of them had major injuries in 2025. So just keep that in the back of your mind when we go into this next season, regardless of what anyone says, oh, he's ahead of schedule, oh, he's progressing well. Do not believe any of that until you see it on Sunday, because you never know if there's going to be a setback. Every single person is different. You can't compare one person's injury to another. And just like with Chris Godwin, sometimes there's multiple parts of the injury that complicate things, that make the timeline far more murkier. So that's the biggest first disconnect I have, Fizz. The second big disconnect that we have between NFL and fantasy football, bad teams hold back great players more than people think, Fizz. So the average record, we went through this last year, the average record at every single position at top 12. What do you guess what it is for a top 12 QB last year, Fizz? What was the average record, you think? Winning record.
Top 12. And injured QB?
No, not injured. Just for top 12.
The top 12. You got me thinking on the top 12. Pat was there, but he got hurt. Let me see.
That's the outlier. He's the outlier. So he's the one that brings everyone else down. He had the worst record of any of the top 12
you know what?
QBs.
You're right. Yeah, he didn't make the playoffs. You're right. Matt Stafford went to playoffs. You're right. Damn, Rock. I'm gonna say the average record, because that NFC, because we talking NFC, you know the NFC was cooking, man. Brock Purdy, all those guys. I'm gonna say 9 wins.
10.67 wins, Fizz.
Okay. All right. I was gonna say 10, but I ain't want to push it to the limit, baby. But 9 wins sound about right.
What about RB? What do you think theirs is average?
I like this game right here, right? This is a good question. Running backs. Shit, now I'm thinking about Lions didn't make the playoffs. The Falcons didn't make the playoffs.
Theirs is a lot more forgiving.
Yeah. I'm gonna stay 9 because a lot of those teams still won 9 games. They just were bad. I'm gonna say 9.
Pretty close. 8.75 wins, Fizz.
All right, there we go. All right. I like Patty's answer too, though, man. Could be 6, could be 7. I don't know.
Yeah. What about between two of the best RBs that we were most excited about going into 2025, Fizz? Breece Hall and Quinshon Judkins. Where do you think that they finished in points per game? Two of the worst teams in the NFL. Don't have QBs. The Browns didn't have an offensive line.
Points per game, Rock. I'm gonna give him 11.
For both of them, which one?
Oh, you saying they're not
in the rankings? Sorry,
individually.
Okay, Breece Hall was 20th of all RBs in points per game. Quinshon Judkins, guess what his was?
I thought you'd ask me how many points they was averaging, Rock. All right, cool.
No.
Because Judkins, man, you asked me about these injured players, Rock. Come on, man. You got me over here.
Well, Quinshon Judkins was healthy until the last game of the season.
He was.
So he didn't have an excuse.
It took a little second, though. If Breece was 20th, I'm going to say Quinshon was... I'm going to still put him before the top 30. I'm going to put him 29.
You were cheating. Quinshon Judkins was 29th in points per game.
Bro, I didn't look at nothing. I didn't look at absolutely nothing.
You must be getting really good at this game.
I know
Fizz.
you tricky, brother. I know you tricky, man. I know how you roll.
But Fizz,
I really didn't look at nothing. Go ahead.
Breece Hall and Quinshon Judkins were not 20th and 29th in ADP coming into the season. They're far higher.
At all.
Because of their teams, how bad of a situation they were, they completely held them back. Last question, Fizz, wide receiver. What's the average win record for the top 12 wide receivers?
Well, the Bengals was trash. Damn, Rod, this is a good freaking question, bro. Average win, I'm gonna say 8. I'm gonna say 8 because
higher.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 8. It's higher?
It's 9.1. Fizz, it would be almost 10 if it wasn't for Michael Wilson. Michael Wilson is a top 12 wide receiver. The Cardinals only had 3 wins last year. That's why they're so early on in your ticker, Fizz. So that's pretty crazy, though. So the rule of thumb to really take away from this exercise, before you go and draft the guy that you really, really want, look at what Vegas has as far as their win record projected into the upcoming season and use that as a tiebreaker. So, of course, go after the best guys. But after you get outside the top 12, Fizz, it doesn't become so solidified. There's a lot of room for players to be able to move around. So use this as a tiebreaker. And then the last thing is, it's the opposite of this, Fizz. Winning record does not equate to winning fantasy production, Fizz. So I took the best teams from last year. I got the Broncos. I got the Patriots. I got the Seahawks. I got the Jaguars. I got the Bills. I got the Texans. And I got the Bears, Fizz. We're going to talk about their best playmakers in fantasy football. So a lot of these best players, they're going to have one cornerstone guy, usually their QB. But who's the next guy after that? So for the Broncos, their best player last year was Bo Nix and Cortland Sutton. Where do you think RJ Harvey ranked as far as RBs go overall? So ranking, not points per game. Where do you think they ranked?
I got you. Because you told me this. You was tired of RJ Harvey. You was like, man, get rid of him as fast as you can because J.K. Dobbins seems to have that job. I still remember that. I was blindsided because I didn't want it to happen. So RJ Harvey with him barely really playing, bro. If those guys, I'm gonna say. I'm going to give RJ with how good he was later. I'm going to give him 35.
He was a lot better than that, Fizz. RJ Harvey was 20th. He was the 20th RB.
20th, Rock?
Yeah.
Now you got me. So that means he really took off when what's his name got hurt because
Dobbins got hurt, yeah.
Because Breece Hall was 20th. He was right there with Breece. Dang, that's brother.
Yeah. What about Travion Henderson?
Oh my goodness, man! The Rhino did not give him any time, man. The Patriots, he is the 35. If he is the one that didn't do much, I'm gonna give him.
So keep that in mind.
PPR, okay, PPR, yeah. Because this is the thing, right? And now when I'm not looking at the rankings, this is why it's throwing me off because they had spike games. They wasn't consistent at all. But Travion Henderson had that one game was like three receiving touchdowns and like 100-something yards rushing.
Yeah, he had like 2 games where he had like 50 points.
Those spike games will get you from number 50 to number 30 in like one game. So I'm gonna just say he in the 20s. Are these guys all in the 20s? Is what you're trying to give me? Okay.
So Henderson was 21st.
Okay.
Kenneth Walker, Fizz. It's the JSN show.
Yeah.
Fizz, he still has yet to have a top 12 season. He's one of my favorite RBs, but he's still yet to have a top 12 season. He was 22nd last year. Parker Washington, Fizz. If you had to name the best players that are on the Jaguars, it's Trevor Lawrence, it's ETN. ETN was a top 12 play last year. Fizz, all the receivers were terrible. when your best receiver is Parker Washington and he was the 27th overall wide receiver, and then you have Jacoby Myers, things are bad. The Bills, Fizz, this one is probably one of the most egregious. Khalil Shakir was the 36th overall wide receiver last year. 36, Fizz. He's barely a wide receiver 3. He's a flex play. And then you'd say, what about
Dalton? He's a free pickup on free agency. Nobody wanted him.
Then you might think, well, Don Kincaid, he had a good season last year. Fizz, he started off hot and he tanked really bad. He was the 20th overall tight end. 20th tight end last year in PPR. Your guy, Woody Marks, Fizz, he was the 29th RB, Fizz. Pretty bad. And then he got one 100-yard rushing game that was against the Pittsburgh Steelers in the playoffs. Yeah. And then the Bears. DJ Moore was the 34th wide receiver, Fizz. So Rome Odunze, Luther Burden, all after him. So Coach Lovin had a top 12 season. Yeah, he was their number one. So those are the biggest disconnects. Injuries.
Got a reality check right here, brother.
Reality check, exactly. Yeah. So injuries, bad teams, even good teams, Fizz. It doesn't matter which one you pick. There's still cases for each one of them. So now we got 2 more categories, Fizz. This is when we get really into the meat and potatoes of the show. That was just the appetizer. The first course is fantasies that we want in the NFL, Fizz. So there are often times where there are things that we love about fantasy football that don't come to fruition in real life football, Fizz. So the first one I have, Fizz, anytime a player goes to this team, everyone puts them up almost like 6 full spots ahead in ADP in their rookie drafts because they landed on this one particular team. You know what team I'm talking about, right?
You said they move on. Give me AFC or NFC, then I can tell you exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, come on. It's easy. What's the one team that's like, oh my God, he went to this team. We got to move him up.
It's the Chiefs, or it's Buffalo, or it's
the Chiefs.
Okay. I know. It's like 4 teams I can give you, but yeah, that is one. You're right. That might be number one. You're 100% right.
It's the number one team that everyone.
You're right.
So, Fizz, I want to talk about some of their best playmakers from the last few seasons.
Okay.
Isaiah Pacheco. He is ranked 37th, 15th, 64th, 56th at the RB position, Fizz. You could have gotten Kareem Hunt, and he would have far outperformed Isaiah Pacheco the last 2 seasons. He finished 31st and 31st the last 2 seasons, Fizz. Okay, what about Rashee Rice? If you would have drafted Rashee Rice, he would have ended up, his best year was his first year, Fizz. He was the 27th overall wide receiver. Then he got hurt by Patrick Mahomes, friendly fire, 99th overall wide receiver, and then 40th last year, Fizz. Okay, what about the speedster, Xavier Worthy? Fizz, his first best year was his first year, the 33rd overall wide receiver, Fizz. He finished as the 59th last year. So you could have gotten an old fart in Travis Kelce. He has outproduced them at a fraction of the dynasty price than Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy. He's scored more points than either of them, Fizz. So Kareem Hunt, Travis Kelce.
Bro, you talking, brother. You talking, man. Hey, you really got me thinking about name value. Because like you said, when they play for the Chiefs, Marquise Brown, I was screaming and hollering, oh yeah, Hollywood is in Kansas City.
I didn't bring up Hollywood. I didn't bring up Sky Moore. I didn't bring up all those bums. That's what they've been.
Right. You're right, man. Hey, Rock, I like this reality check you giving me, brother. I like this, man. Thanks for schooling me today, my boy.
Well, the lesson's going to continue, Fizz. That's his lesson 1. So,
oh, damn.
Justin Fields, our guy, and Kyler Murray. We both want them to be winning NFL QBs, Fizz.
For sure.
Because that's what they've been in fantasy football. Fantasy football, last 2 years for Justin Fields, he was 15th and 7th in points per game, Fizz, because of that rushing ability those last 2 years in Chicago. But Kyler Murray, he's had 4 healthy seasons, Fizz. He finished as the 6th, the 3rd, the 10th, and the 10th overall QB. So from a fantasy perspective, he's been fantastic. He's been top 10 every healthy year he's had. But Fizz, what he does in fantasy couldn't be more different than what we see on Sundays. He's one of the most frustrating QBs, especially what he's done to our guys in Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride. So I want to ask you, how do we what do you think their outlook is moving forward? I think is the main question. Is there any hope for these guys? Are these guys going to be only people that we can only enjoy in fantasy football?
And you're talking about Kyler and Justin Fields, guys like those, right?
Yeah.
Well, well, you know me, bro. I believe situation is always key for everything. I think a lot of the time when people bring up Justin Fields and they always say, man, look what he's done. Look what he's done. And my biggest pushback is, look who was coaching him. And to me, he hasn't had that coach that really got him where he needed to be. You told me over and over and over, Sam Darnold is going to be okay. He's going to be solid. After the Viking situation, when he went to Seattle, I threw him to the trash. Look, man, he ain't got no structure over there. He don't know what's going on over there. Kevin O'Connell is the reason why Sam Darnold's good. That's pretty much how I chalked it up. Sam Darnold got that Kevin O'Connell. He got the Kyle Shanahan. He got all of those genius minds that worked with him for over 2 years. Now he goes to win a Super Bowl his first year with a new team. I think these guys are just a genius mind away. And that's easy to say, right? I can say that about a bunch of quarterbacks. I get it. But these two guys having the athleticism and having what they were, Rock, Justin Fields in Ohio State, you know that because you are an Ohio State fan. There's no way you can't tell me this man can't throw the ball the way he was throwing it in Ohio State. You can't tell me he can't throw the ball. Just looking at how he played as an 18, 19-year-old and then him becoming an adult, I know the league is different than college, but he hasn't had that mind to get him to where he should be and elevate his game. And I just think now him being in Kansas City, whether he plays or not, we don't know, but he'll be around enough championship pedigree that he should understand how this game is played. Maybe his routine isn't right. Maybe, it's little things, man, that get you where you need to be. You know what? One thing he might need, Rock, he just might need to see wins on the board. Sometimes being in winning locker rooms gets you to where you need to be. So I think Mac Jones got what he got last year with the 49ers. He might be another Sam Darnold candidate next year when he gets a free agent listing. These two guys this year, though, just need to be around winning pedigrees and genius minds, and I think they will have it in 2026, brother.
Fizz, you said it right there at the end. It's winning. Why is winning not included along with other important metrics like points per game, like rushing yards, like touchdowns? Because what is the number one thing that coaches and teams care about when it comes to their teams? And it comes with their QBs winning games, Fizz. That's the main. That's like the main thing. But for some reason, a lot of people in the fantasy space, they don't care about that whatsoever. They don't care about the fact that Tua, Michael Penix, J.J. McCarthy, Anthony Richardson might be one of the most egregious, Fizz, because he has all the athleticism. He has all the tools. Fizz, the guy, in the middle of a game sits on the bench because he's tired. It's just like, do you think he's going to have a long NFL career? So it's just like, these are some of the biggest things that just make a lot of sense that for some reason just not click with the fantasy community. So that's one of the biggest. I'll
give you one better, Rod, to kind of add on to what you just said. Brock Purdy has to be the definition of this conversation because the man was the last pick in the draft, but he was on a winning team that went to a Super Bowl, almost went to a Super Bowl. He wouldn't be where he is without that winning pedigree around him, and he damn sure wouldn't be putting up top QB numbers in fantasy if he wasn't in that situation. So him being in a winning position, that right there is a definition of why we want to draft him in fantasy, bro. He wouldn't be what he is without that winning situation in San Fran. So I think he is probably the definition of this category, right?
Yeah. Fizz, I need your help with something. This is with the next one right here, because I'm having a really hard time understanding why is Jalen Hurts not respected as an elite QB, Fizz. So in fantasy circles, he's been fantastic. He was 9th, 3rd, 2nd, and he's been 8th the last 2 years as the overall QB in fantasy. He has a .65 winning percentage, Fizz. There's only 3 QBs that are playing right now that have a better one than him. That's Lamar Jackson, that's Josh Allen, and that's Patrick Mahomes. He's taken his team to 2 Super Bowls. He's won one of them, and he goes to the playoffs every freaking year. Yeah. So why is he, people respect him somewhat in fantasy football, but in NFL circles, It's people can't stand the guy. Can you please help me with this?
It's the same thing I say about the Cowboys and Dak Prescott, bro. It's where he plays. If this man was in Atlanta, he wouldn't get the hate he gets. He wouldn't have the wins he have, but he wouldn't get the hate he gets. When I looked this offseason, Rock, and I saw he was behind guys like Justin Herbert, Pat Mahomes, who's coming off a major injury, Jackson Dart, bro, just a year ago, he was like number 4. He was right behind Jaden Daniels, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. It was Jalen Hurts right there. For this man to move back 6 to 7 spots, and he didn't lose any talent. Now, AJ Brown is, that situation is in the air, but he hasn't officially gone off the team. The team is only going to get better. We all know how he is going to make sure this team is running on all cylinders. The draft is coming up. I don't see how Jalen Hurts just gets the disrespect that he gets, other than him being in Philly. And I think a lot of this ranking system that we have with the QBs is because of that. Fans see you playing Philly, they're already going to hate you. So now if you don't outperform every year, we're going to keep dropping you. So this is what I like to see you, though, Rock, because this reminds me of what I always say. People can tell you all they want to tell you about this game of fantasy football, but they're going to play it with their heart. And they're going to draft and rank Jalen Hurts with their heart more so than his ability on the field, bro. I'm loving where he at right now because I can get Jalen Hurts for a bag of nuggets, and people is tripping if they think that they're going to actually not show or that he not going to get on what he's supposed to get. So give me Jalen Hurts in 2026, baby. That's my dog.
And I like this comment right here, Fizz. It's because he's an introvert and not social. Maybe that's the reason why it is. Fizz, what about Joe Burrow? Joe Burrow is the definition of an introvert. He always talks like super quiet and like, unless you get him to talk about Pokemon, Fizz, he doesn't really care. He's always just kind of like shrugging his shoulders, but he's what they call Joe Cool. So the Bengals actually have 2 Joe Cools because this was also Joe Flacco's issue for years and years and years too. But because he's old and wins games, well, then that's kind of cool. That's kind of fun.
Yeah. Well, I say this though.
What's the difference between them?
It's because nobody cares about the Bengals. We don't care if they win or lose in real life, bro. Nobody cares about the Bengals. So Joe Cool can be cool because we don't expect you to do nothing anyway in Cincinnati. When you play for the Dallas Cowboys, when you play for the Kansas City Chiefs, Rock, I guarantee you right now, when Pat Mahomes didn't make that playoffs last year, 90% of fans that teams didn't make the playoffs, they celebrated Pat Mahomes not making the playoffs more than they were disappointed their team didn't go because he plays for the Chiefs, bro. When Tom Brady was in the league, we hated him. I don't care what his ranking was. I can't stand him. That's how the league and the game work. Jalen Hurts is just getting the backlash of being a Philadelphia Eagle. That's what it comes down to for me. Joe Cool could be cool because he in Cincinnati. You put him in Philadelphia, they're going to boo him out of that building if he ain't getting no games done. That's a fact.
Well, to be fair, I mean, I don't really care about the Eagles anyway. I kind of hate them anyway. So it doesn't matter.
So, there you go. There you go.
But I don't hate on the players.
I'm with you.
I don't hate on Slim Reaper. I don't hate on AJ Brown. I don't hate on Saquon Barkley. You know?
This is true.
I hate their coach and I hate their fans even more, Fizz. Can't stand them.
But Rock, I'm going to ask you this. Now, I know not you in particular, but do you know people that draft in fantasy leagues that way? Like, man, you know what? I can't stand this dude. I'm going to skip past him just because. You know what I'm saying? That's what, because I think that's the conversation.
Who do you know that hates Kyler Murray more than me?
Well, I think a lot of people hate Kyler Murray, though. I can't stand Kyler Murray.
I can't stand him either, Fizz. But if you draft him, there's a really good chance that you're getting a really great value from him. Just can't stand him.
At times. But I think this game is a lot more tighter than what people want to admit, bro. But I like this game that we got going on. Keep on cooking, brother.
Okay. I want to talk about 2 of the best wide receivers that we've ever seen as prospects, Fizz. One of them didn't even have to do a pro day or combine or nothing, Fizz. And he was still a top 3 draft pick. And then this other guy right here may have been even more athletically gifted than he was. But Fizz, do you know who I'm talking about with these 2 wide receivers? They came out, they're going into their 3rd year right now.
Bro, 2 of the biggest disappointments in 2025. It got to be Marvin Harrison and BTJ as your top 2, brother.
Oh, I didn't even think about BTJ. I'm just talking about Marvin Harrison and Odunze, actually. So,
well, see, only
because BTJ was a top 12 guy his first season. He's done far more than either of these 2 guys.
That's true. But Rome actually last year started off with a touchdown every game. Like his first 6 games, first weeks, he took off, and then the fall off was just like it was like J. Cole's album. It was a fall off for real. But I'm with you though. I'm with you. I don't knock the wrong thing. I just threw BTJ in there because, bro, this man, I remember mock draft season. He was going over a lot of guys. Amon-Ra in some drafts, right? And he went from receiver 1 on his team to like receiver 4. We ain't even talking fantasy. We talking football.
Because I gotta fess up to something. I actually did write BTJ after Odunze. But I love him so much, Fizz, that my initial instinct and reaction was, that's exactly what ended up happening. So Marvin Harrison Jr., Fizz, his first year, he was 29th overall at wide receiver. Fizz, last year, he was 49th. Odunze was 49th his first season. He was 41st last year, Fizz. So neither of these guys have shown us deadly squat. BTJ, top 12 first season. Terrible last year. I didn't even fucking write his thing down. So
don't look.
So we are hoping, in fantasy football, we've had, these 3 guys that we're super excited for. Fizz, they haven't done deadly squat in the NFL yet. But they are going into their pivotal 3rd year. That's usually where we see breakouts, is between their 3rd and 4th season. So if they don't do anything by the end of this year, Fizz, that might be time to really actually cash out, because that's basically they got one more year to figure it out. So
yeah, and when you talk about these 2 guys, bro, I just want to expand on them just a little bit.
Yeah.
I remember in that year that Marvin Hurts came out. Again, you're an Ohio State guy. Remember, we talked about Jackson Smith-Njigba couldn't get the breakout that he deserved because of guys like Marvin Hurts and around him. And then Malik Neighbors coming into the league, I thought, man, the Giants is tripping for taking Malik Neighbors over Marvin Hurts. And I'm not saying Malik wasn't good, though, but I just thought Marvin Hurts, having the bloodline, having the pedigree, and being Ohio State, which we know Neighbors was an LSU guy as well. I'm sorry. Did the Cardinals take Marvin Hurts before him? I think they did. It took him 1 pick before him, right? I'm tripping. I meant in fantasy. In fantasy, Marvin Harrison was going over in Malik Neighbors in a lot of leagues. Me in particular, I took Marvin Harrison over Malik Neighbors. And when I look back at it, Rock, I'm not gonna lie, Malik Neighbors is everything we wanted him to be, and Marvin Harrison is nothing that we wanted him to be. Now, I ask you, is it situational because of Kyler Murray? Is it because the Cardinals just have this thing where they haven't shown us how to get receivers where they should be? Or is it literally Malik Neighbors is really him, and Marvin Harrison has a lot to show us and a lot of growing up to do?
Marvin Harrison has had lots of different things that are in his way, Fizz, between a QB that can't throw over the middle because he's too short and he's just bad at doing that. And also, too, a offensive coordinator that's been really piss poor when it comes to the receiving game over the last couple of years as well. So when Michael Wilson breaks out as a top 12 guy out of freaking nowhere with Jacoby Brissett, Trey McBride becomes unstoppable, and Marvin Harrison Jr., isn't being able to put it together as one of the best prospects we have seen, Fizz. Like, outside of Jamar Chase, name a prospect that's been bigger than Marvin Harrison Jr. over the last 5 years.
Yeah. Nobody. I mean, hey, again, I was taking him over Malik Neighbors, man. I was proud of it. Like, I seen Marvin Harrison go over Jaden Daniels in leagues. Like, that was a real thing.
And it's the same thing with Odunze. Odunze has freaking Ben Johnson. He has Caleb Williams. What's his excuse? So,
maybe it was DJ Moore. We're going to find out because he ain't did it. He don't do it this year, like you said. It's over with, man. Rome has fallen. The empire is down, and it's over with, brother. So,
and the same thing with BTJ. Like, when Parker Washington and Jacoby Myers are outplaying you, what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I want to throw this out, Rock, because you brought up the Bengals situation, and we're gonna go to the next one. But they tried to trade your boy Devontae Adams. That was well known. They said that they let him know. Sean McVay said, "Hey, I didn't keep that behind or do it in a way where it wasn't respectful. I let Devontae Adams know." I don't know if you heard this, Rock, but I just read this morning, man. Devontae Adams said, "If you're gonna trade me, send me somewhere like the Bengals. I would love to play with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins." So T. Higgins. So just let you know, man, if you see breaking news coming out of nowhere, man, if it still happens. I don't know if it's happening now because they pretty much want to win at this point. I think they thought they had another trade in place. But he said he want to play with the Bengals, man, if he got to get moved.
Does you see my face right now?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking. I'm looking. Just letting you know what I heard, man.
That report makes no sense whatsoever.
Just letting you know
if
what I
you
read,
have
man.
one of the best unguardable wide receivers in the NFL that wins you games, and you are this close to winning a Super Bowl, this close, Fizz, why
he
would
was
you
saying
trade
if
away?
he have to be traded because they were trying to trade him. Now that was a fact. Sean
Why?
McVay.
No, I want us to put ourselves in Sean McVay's shoes and Les Snead's shoes. Why would you do that? That makes no sense.
Well, Sean McVay said it. This now the Bengals thing is a report. The Sean McVay, I seen the video. He said that he let Adams know himself because he didn't want to do this. Now this was before the money thing. This was like a money thing at first. So, and I think they thought they was gonna get AJ Brown too. Because remember, it was reports that AJ Brown. It was a lot of wishy-washy back and forth. I know, Rock. I get it. It's just a bunch of gossip.
I would take Devontae Adams, every day of the week and twice on Sunday over AJ Brown. I would. He's a winner.
Why they didn't make the trade. That's why they didn't make the trade. So now this could be an old report. I'm just letting you know I read it this morning that they did let Adams know beforehand that they were going to look to trade him at one point. And he said, if you got to trade me, I would love to go to the Bengals. That's just what I read. I'm just letting you know, brother.
Man, I don't know. I just feel kind of discouraged by that. I thought Sean McVay was super smart. That's the reason why we took Mike McDonald over him. Mike McDonald want to make that type of move.
I mean, not right now. After you didn't spend $100 million, $200 million on cornerbacks, you look like you're trying to lock in right now at this point. So maybe they think Mekhi Lemon or one of these young guys is Devontae Adams' replacement. I don't know, Rob. I'm just letting you know what I heard on the streets, baby.
I'm just going to chalk that up as a moment of weakness.
Don't shoot the messenger. I got you. They were vulnerable at that point. You feel me? They was drinking, had some of that California wine in them, and they was just tweeting on their phone. Hey, man, what's up? They trying to make it. They playing dynasty. They trying to make a trade, and now the news got broke, man. That's all it is.
Sometimes people need to put their phones down, uninstall Sleeper. Whatever you do during this time of the year, Fizz, it's only going to hurt you. That's with the NFL and with fantasy football. Here's the last one I got right here.
Okay.
Fizz, Breece Hall and Alvin Kamara, two of the most talented RBs in the NFL. Could we please get them on different teams? Let's get them traded. Breece Hall, his first year, he was second at the RB position. The last couple healthy seasons, he was 16th and 19th. Sorry, that was his second year, Fizz. He was second because his first year he tore his ACL. I just remember.
I was about to say because I was going to bring. I knew you had this conversation coming up, so I saved it. But when you talked about injuries, even though that was 2023, though that Breece Hall injury, Rock, that was major for a running back to come back the next year and take off the way he did. So shout out to Breece Hall, man, for always staying on top of his game.
Fizz, I always say this. I'm going to say it again. Kamara is one of the best RBs of our generation. He has been top 12 7 out of 9 years, Fizz. That one of those ones that he did not place in the top 12 was just this past year, Fizz, where he was sick and he was drinking pina coladas and he was on Bourbon Street eating beignets and stuff like that. So Breece and Kamara, I want them on different teams. I really wanted Kamara last year on the Chicago Bears. That could still be a thing. There are teams that still need RBs. So, especially with ETN there.
This, Rock. My boy said, Kellen Moore said, Alvin Kamara is a part of this team. We want him on the team. So, I don't know.
I mean, if I was Kellen Moore, I would agree with that too. Could you imagine having ETN and Kamara? Those are two of the best RBs in the league.
I'm with you. So I'm just letting you know our dreams may not come true, but I 100% agree with you. Chicago Bears, man. Whew.
And why do they keep torturing Breece Hall like that? It's like, I just imagine that like he's like in a prison cell and Woody Johnson is just coming by with the keys. Like, you want to get out? No, you're not getting out. You're going to stay here and you're going to rot forever on the New York Jets. Can't stand it.
I'm with you. I told my boy Voorhees when I had traded Breece Hall, and I said, man, I'm only trading him, not because I want to. I really believe the Jets are going to franchise tag him and lock him down. I think they're going to do him dirty. He's not going to the Chiefs. He's not going to these destinations we want him to go. The Jets are going to say, no, sir, we getting rid of everybody but you and Garrett Wilson. We are holding you hostage. I really said that, and I really believed it. Anything is possible. He can still be traded. I just think that they're going to really hold these guys hostage, man, unfortunately.
All right, Fizz. The second part of this show, there are things that we love about the NFL that just don't manifest themselves in fantasy football, unfortunately, Fizz. So these are realities that we want in fantasy football. The very first one that I have. Do you remember who we crowned as the most important player at their position in our March Madness bracket?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. Pat Mahomes, baby, number 15.
Patrick Mahomes, I think, both of us think, is by far the most important player in the NFL. Because he hasn't been that way in fantasy football the last couple of years. So the last 3 years, he's been 8th, 11th, and 11th, including he was on a good trajectory last year, and then he tore his knee. So,
yeah. Now I'm going to say this, Rob, before you continue, though. Remember, he started at his best when his team was bad. And think about that. He had one of his best starts in like 3 years when his team was actually playing bad. Yeah. That's something to remember too, because we just talked about the win-loss ratio. But Pat, last couple of seasons of winning Super Bowls and all that, he didn't look his best. He started looking at his best when his team was losing. So I just want to bring that up too.
So that was the last 3 years. The 3 years before that, he's been top 4. So
for sure. But now, granted, the defense got a whole lot better as well. You know what I'm saying? So that happened too. But go ahead, continue, my brother. Also, hold up, bro. I just want to let everybody know, man. We see you in here. ATM was and maybe is still here. He is in the building. What's good with you, man? That my boy Big E, man. He said, "What up, though? What's good with you, E? Shout out your Ravens, but we talking about the Chiefs, baby. All right, go ahead, Rock. Keep hooking it up."
So, Fizz, how do we get him to be the best QB in fantasy again? Do you think that that's still possible for him, especially with the fact that he's got his old OC back? Matt Nagy's out of the picture. Maybe that's the biggest thing.
Well, I think last year a lot of it was his run game, bro. He was running the ball. I think he was like number 3 in QB rushing. He was the number 1 rusher on their team, if I'm not mistaken, right? He led their team in rushing. So a lot of that came from rushing. And I just think he's almost 30 years old. They're going to protect that leg. I don't think he can be the top QB in fantasy ever again, but top 5, he should remain. If Joe Burrow can stay there, I think Pat can be there. So I think he's at
Do you think Patrick Mahomes is as good as a passer as Joe Burrow, though? Joe Burrow has Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
That's true. But
maybe Devontae Adams next week.
Yeah, but I will just say, Pat, he will use his legs as much as we don't think he will consistently. He's going to use them legs, bro. And I think that's going to be the edge. And he got Travis Kelce for it. That's his go-to guy, man. He can get Kelce some numbers. He going to find a way. I'm going to pick him one spot over Joe Burrow if I had to rank him.
Okay, I gotcha. That's just something that I really want in Fantasy Fizz, but I'm not sure if I'm going to bank on it for next year with that injury and their receivers still being bad. But they do have a top, this is the highest draft pick they've had, I think, since they got Patrick Mahomes. So if they get a wide receiver, Fizz, that could change something.
I say this. Maybe they got, I know you think he's going to be 100% healthy, but they got Justin Fields for a reason. Maybe he takes the legs off of Pat Mahomes and say, hey, we need you to run the ball. Pat, try not to. You know, if you don't have to run, don't run, please. That's what we got Fields for. So maybe they take that rushing load off of Pat's schedule. But we know Pat.
What are they going to do, Fizz?
Are they going to listen to nobody?
Are they going to cut Justin Fields in half and attach his legs to Patrick Mahomes? How does that help anything?
I'm just saying, without being obvious, you know, it's 3rd and 3 and Justin Fields come in. We know you're going to run it. I'm just saying, I'm sure
you're going to run the ball.
I know. I think they're going to cook up some plays, though, that they try not to make Pat go out there. But you know, Pat, he don't listen. He going to do what he want to do. He going to just say, F y'all, I'm going to run the ball.
I want people to recognize, I brought up that exact same point a few weeks ago, and you got so mad at me by saying, well, look who their OC is, and Arthur Smith. You just brought up the same freaking fact, and they have your favorite OC in Bieniemy now.
Okay, but what's what I'm telling you, though? The way you said it, shout out Bendos, man. We appreciate you, big dog. The way you said it was Fields is only there just to run the ball, though. That's what I'm saying. That's what you made it seem like.
He didn't do shit the last couple of years with the Steelers and with the Jets.
Hold on, bro. Let me call EB, man, right quick. I'm gonna hit him up in a little bit. All right, and we in a show right now. I ain't gonna interrupt the show. I'm gonna holler at EB and let him know. All right, Fields. First of all, send me a jersey, and second, man, let's get him to throw the ball a little bit. All right.
Hey, we want both the same thing too. We want him to be a winning QB once again. So he's with the best team he's ever been with now. But we're going to move on to the next one. Fizz, this is one that absolutely devastated me because this is one of the best prospects I've ever seen come out of college. Complete unicorn. And I think he was by far the best wide receiver in last year's class. Better than Tedero McMillan, better than Emeka Ibuka. That's Travis Hunter, Fizz. But then when Steve Smith, he came out talking smack, he was saying like, he could be good, but what he really needs to be is he needs to focus on one position, Fizz, and master it before he moves on to the next one. Steve Smith Sr., one of my favorite wide receivers ever in history. I didn't want to listen to him. Fizz, I'm pretty sure I can admit now he was right. So it seems like Travis Hunter is going to play corner next year. He may never play wide receiver, outside of a few snaps per game, but that's something I really want in fantasy football is for Travis Hunter to play wide receiver.
Well, I'm going to say this, Rocket. I'm not trying to fight or argue against Steve, but granted, it was garbage time. Travis Hunter had his best game as a receiver right before his injury.
The Chiefs game. They don't win that game without him.
He right before his injury, he messed his leg up in practice. Like we didn't even see it, right? Right before that injury, though, he had the best game of his receiving career. So I know it's easy to say that maybe people were right, he shouldn't play both, but we didn't technically get to see it. And I think the team is saying we don't need to see it. We think we're good enough. Maybe we see it in the playoffs. Maybe that's like their X factor. Like, you know what? Now we're going to use them. It's kind of like how, players have that one guy that they kind of let skate through the season. Playoff time come. Now we're going to change it up. So I just think he can do both. We just didn't get to see it. And I think the Jaguars are like, we think we're a playoff team. Let's just get to the playoffs. Then we'll figure out what we do with Hunter. So, but he had his best game as a receiver before that injury, bro. Literally the game before.
Yeah, and I like to play what if, where it's just like maybe he does have a strong second half of the season. Maybe him and Emeka Ibuka flip. Maybe he has an end of a season that was similar to Tedero McMillan, who looked like easily the best wide receiver in this class. But the thing is, though, is that he did tear his knee. So, you do need your knee to play corner, too. So I think it has more to do with the mental game, because how many times did we knock Travis Hunter for not being aligned correctly, for them getting penalties? It was just too much. If you're Trevor Lawrence and you're having a great drive and then you have a rookie wide receiver that's getting penalties and now you have to punt it on third down, it's just like, you can't be doing that. You can't be killing drives like that. So
this is true.
Okay. So the next one that I have is, these are amazing QBs that I want us to take the next step with them. So Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, and T-Law. The way I just phrased that, Fizz, sounded so weird. I don't know why I said it like that. It's like we're going on a date with them. I want to take our relationship to the next level. No, these are guys that
now I got to add a corny joke in there, Rock. But think about it, right? You just talked about take them on a date. You got love. You need love on a date, baby. It might look real pretty, you feel me? And then you might be calling the laws at the end of the night. So I'm just saying, man, it's a whole lot of ways you can flip this around, whole lot of ways you can do it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know where Herbert fits in with that, but love it looking pretty, and it might call the laws, man. That might be one of them ones, man. So go ahead, continue, my brother.
So these are guys that we love in fantasy football, that we want them to be better, though. So they all have balanced offenses. They all have great weapons. They all have solid defenses, and they all have great coaches, Fizz. So these are guys that you're like, a lot of times they're top 10 in fantasy, but we want them to be a lot better. We want them to take that next step. We want them to get in that elite tier. Also, too, they all have super high ceilings as dual threat QBs. All of them have some rushing ability to their repertoire. So especially with Justin Herbert, and I think with T-Law too. Brock Purdy is sneaky when it comes to his rushing ability. Jordan Love, not the biggest rusher, but he always takes his team to the playoffs. A lot of these teams take their teams to the playoffs. T-Law just hopefully with Liam Cohen. That's a new thing now. But Justin Herbert, I think, is the number one when it comes to this category. I really just want him to be a lot better when it comes to fantasy football, Fizz.
So I'm gonna ask you this, because I'm gonna say what I gotta say about it. But Justin Herbert is number one. What's your 2, 3, and 4? Because I know you're a Purdy guy. I know Love's I'm not gonna say he always hurt, but he seems to find a way to get hurt. But he has one of them coaches, Matt LaFleur. He lost Romeo Dobbs. You know, you give me your ranking after Herbert. Though. What are your next three between Love, Purdy, and T-Law?
Well, T-Law is easily the most disappointing. I mean, number 1 overall pick, and he was, deemed the golden child, the best prospect that we'd seen since Andrew Luck Fizz.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think he's been super, super disappointing.
What I mean going into 2026 though, going into this year,
going into 2026,
not really talking about the past, but going fresh start today. Herbert being 1, where we at with it for the next 3?
T-Law would probably be the one after him. I mean, Brock Purdy. I mean, you talk about injuries, Fizz. Where would they be without Mac Jones? So all these guys have been banged up to some degree or another. But yeah, I would say like that's the one that the ones that I really want the most to take that big next step. Justin Herbert, Brock Purdy, T-Law. So Jordan Love, I think their offense is just so well balanced, and they don't have any fantastic wide receivers. I can't really knock them too much. He's just a value.
The defense gonna keep them in games. You still never gave me your ranking, Rock, but I'm just saying you just said T-Law and then stop. But I would just say for me, I think Purdy is definitely number 2. I think Purdy is right there with Herbert, bro. I'm keeping it 100 with you. I think Purdy is right there, man.
Yeah.
I've watched him last year come out with those games, 5 touchdown games. Now they were playing bum teams or whatever you want to call it. That's on their schedule. That's what they got to do. But I watched Purdy go out there and put on a show when he needed to. And he has Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Mike Evans now.
He was the number 1 QB the last 6 weeks of the season in fantasy.
Exactly. And I know we're talking dynasty, so that could change a lot of the things. But for 2026, man, I don't see the big difference between Herbert and Purdy, man, if you ask me, bro. So
yeah. I want both of them to take that huge next step.
For sure. For sure.
My next one is, all right, if you had to name the best wide receiver in the NFL, who are you going to name? And not CeeDee Lamb, because it's not him.
George Pickens. Let me see. Well, Puka Nacua to me is the number 1 receiver, period.
Yeah.
But right after him, though, if we just talking like, we ain't talking breakout seasons and this and that. We talking like
pure talent. NFL fantasy does not exist.
Justin Jefferson for me, big dog. Justin Jefferson, man. I know, Patty. I feel you, Patty. I'm with you. And they necking 1A, 1B, or 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I don't know, but it's Justin Jefferson for me. I'm going Jefferson.
And it's Justin Jefferson for me as well from a number 1 skill standpoint. When you ask wide receivers, you ask analysts, you ask the average NFL fan who the best wide receiver is in the NFL, you watch wide receiver on Netflix, Fizz, it's going to be Justin Jefferson. So I want him to regain that wide receiver 1 in fantasy football, Fizz, because it's been Chase. From a production standpoint, Chase has been
he's a dog, man. I think it's easy, and I don't mean to cut you off, Rob, but I think I got to bring this up because I think Chase plays that villain role really well. Like, he's not a bad guy, but if you had to put him and Jefferson neck and neck, back and forth, Jefferson would be Batman and Chase would be Joker. Like, I think Chase is just that villain. Like, he gives you that. Like, you don't see Jefferson get mad and taunt, and he kind of a clean cut receiver.
He's always freaking dancing in the end zone.
Exactly.
He's got his own
Chase
dance.
Gonna give you a little bit of that, man. Get out of here, man. Like, Chase gonna let you know that you not better than him. Justin Jefferson might just say, "All right, man, cool, whatever." So I'm with you, but I'm gonna roll with Jefferson on that one.
And this is the reason why we're doing this. This segment, Patty. It's because these are things that we want to see. But maybe we have to wait on seeing actually, because I don't necessarily agree that Kyler Murray is going to make him a wide receiver 1 again. But Kyler Murray has to be. He just has to be far, far better than J.J. McCarthy from what we saw last year. Justin Jefferson was top 6 in 4 out of 5 healthy seasons, Fizz. Do you know where he ranked last year? He played every game last year. Where do you think he ranked in PPR?
Man, Rob.
That's how bad it was.
I'm gonna be honest, Rob. It was so bad that I didn't even look for it. I'm gonna say in the 30s. He was in the 30s.
He wasn't that bad. He's still a really good wide receiver, Fizz.
Okay. I mean, because, bro, he just cracked 1,000 yards. Like, he literally just cracked it. So, I'm just thinking of, oh, man. You know what? He wasn't that bad. But Parker Washington gave me more excitement than Justin Jefferson, bro. That's all I'm saying. Like, I watched Parker Washington, was like, damn. Justin Jefferson, it was like, damn, did he play today? I don't even remember. So,
he was 21st last year.
21st? Nah, yeah, that still ain't good, but you know.
Fizz, when you're top 6 every healthy season of your career, when you're regarded as the best wide receiver in the NFL, it's him and Chase, then 21st is awful. It's so bad.
No, for sure.
That's unforgivable. Unforgivable. That's what that is. It's so bad. Oh my God. Wait, what's JJ?
Well,
I hate the fact that there's 2 JJs on that freaking team. One of them's a Hall of Famer. The other one's just, he's going to be out of the league in a couple of years.
Well, unfortunately for you, Rock, my boy E is a Michigan fan. So, you know, I'm sure y'all are arch rivals now. You're not Ravens fans no more. So the OSU Michigan thing is, I guess, is about to be real. But he's a Michigan guy. So I understand his feelings behind it.
All right, well, let's keep moving on. This is the last one I got right here, Fizz.
Go ahead, man. Break it down, big dog. Let us know something.
We talked earlier about Breece Hall. Fizz, another guy that plays for the Jets that is just stuck in purgatory, more so than probably any other wide receiver in the NFL, is Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson.
He looks like he's sad right now in this picture. He doesn't look happy at all.
Garrett Wilson, I want so badly to be able to get a QB. The fact that Geno Smith, coming off his worst year that we have seen in just, you know, ever since he was a Jet, is now going back to the Jets, and he may be an upgrade, Fizz. We talked about it earlier. The reason why they go get Geno Smith is because the Jets do want the #1 overall pick, Fizz, as a sneaky little, you know, so that they're not completely tanking to the rest of the NFL, but they really are, so they can get their QB of the future. Garrett Wilson, just from a skill standpoint, he is elite at route running. He is elite when it comes to athletic catches. I've seen this guy. I mean, one of the greatest photos of all time is when he was playing with Ohio State, and he elevated where his like knee is at like the helmet level of the defender, and he's catching over him, Fizz. He's caught insane passes from Zach Wilson, just things I've never seen before. And he had Aaron Rodgers too. That first year with Aaron Rodgers, they're just talking back and forth. He's teaching him the game, and then what ends up happening? He tears his Achilles after the second play. So we never really get to see that. The whole next year, Davante Adams comes in. That's Aaron Rodgers' guy. He shows him how to do it. I'm not going to knock a guy for, you know, being second fiddle to Davante Adams. But Garrett Wilson is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, and he is just completely capped in the worst way. So what are your thoughts on Garrett Wilson and just his whole situation, Fizz?
Get him out of New York. Forget a quarterback. Just get him out of the Jets, bro. I same way we want Breece Hall gone, same way I want Garrett Wilson. The problem with Garrett Wilson, bro, and I see J-Cap, which unfortunately, J-Cap, you are right at this current moment. If you would have said this 2 years ago, I would have said, hell no, give me Garrett Wilson. He is the better player to me. But the situation, man, is just so bad in New York.
Yeah.
And it's so bad, Rock, that we forget how good players are. And that's what I hate about, like, that what have you done for me lately mentality. Because when you look at a guy like Garrett Wilson, if you really know what this dude can do, you're going to know that this dude is one of the best receivers in this game, period.
It happened to Chris Olave. People forgot about him.
It did. And unfortunately, I was one of them, right? Remember, Rock, we forgot how good JSN was. A lot of us had him out of the trading room away, and, you know, because he had to sit behind DK, and they still wasn't that good, and we saw what happened with that. I just think, man, if you're a receiver for the Jets, a player for the Jets, they don't never look good, man. But Garrett Wilson with any other team, bro, I ain't gonna say any other team, but in a better situation, man, he needs that. I know he just signed a big contract. He will be there. Man, I want to see Garrett Wilson win, though, brother. That's all I'm trying to tell you, man. We need some fresh air for GW, man. He is a dog. He is one of them guys. But I think he's well forgotten, man, because of how bad his team is. And we don't respect his name in fantasy or in the league anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, and I appreciate trying to be nice. Him being a Michigan fan, I'm pretty sure that it was really difficult for you to type that out. But yeah, it's been between Ohio State and LSU. But I have to
LSU,
give it to
yeah.
LSU. That's the thing. As far as
Yeah.
production goes, as far as ceiling, as far as like the best of the best,
I
it's
was
been
gonna say,
LSU.
I think LSU has the better number, like true number ones. I think
They
OSU
got Chase, they got Malik Neighbors, and they have Justin Jefferson. Those
they
are
got
literally the three
Odell
best wide
Beckham.
receivers
They
in the
got
league.
a bunch of guys that came in the league, bro.
That's if we go back in the past, Fizz, too.
For sure. But that's what I'm saying. I think they have the better, like, clear number one guys. I think OSU has a lot of great receivers. A lot of them just don't seem to be the number one, like in their.
I mean, JSN was number one last year. So
This is true. It took him a minute, but he got there though. That's what matters, right? So
yeah,
I'm with you,
and
man.
I'm hoping Amika Ibuka. I'm hoping Garrett Wilson gets a QB. I'm hoping Chris Olave could stay healthy. It's a lot of what ifs, though.
It is. But we here for what ifs, baby. And Rock, I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to pause the show a little earlier, get a quick break. But you had a good flow. I want to ask a couple of quick questions before we get up out of here, man. But while the people here, I want to remind them, man, real soon, my boy, man, got me on this journey. We hope it gets y'all on this journey. We got these trading cards, man. This trading card thing. Rock then brought the kid back out of me with this trading thing. And for those that didn't know, it is a thing, right? Card rips, watching people open up these boxes and what you gonna get out of them. My boy got me watching card rip videos on YouTube all damn day, man. I'm on eBay all damn day. I done sent him some cards, man. So we're going to take a quick little 20-second break. I'm going to play this video. Just a reminder of what we're going to do with these cards. And right after that, I got a couple of this or that questions. Then we're going to get up out of here, brother. So take a quick break. Watch these cards. Let's get it popping. Yes, sir. Just like that, baby. We're back. Rock, I just showed you earlier, man. But before we get started, man, I want to show you, man. I got this Michael Irvin, man. This thing looking real good, baby. You feel me? So that just came in the mail yesterday. I might got two more. I don't know. But
it was looking blurry as hell, though.
Yeah, I know. But we will be opening up cards, man. Maybe just having some quick little conversations while we open up the cards. We're gonna have some fun with it while we do it, though. So that is my boy's idea. We will bring that to light real soon. Just want to let y'all know that, man. But Rock, now that we're talking fantasy versus football, I want to ask you a couple of what ifs or this or that. So who would you take over this other guy before we get out of here? So
sounds great.
Remember, this is fantasy versus football, Rock. Fantasy versus football. So I'm gonna ask you, Jaden Daniels versus Lamar Jackson. I want you to give me your fantasy guy and give me your football guy.
I'm going to take Lamar Jackson in both of them, Fizz. I think from an NFL perspective, I think that the Ravens are far ahead of where the Commanders are right now. We saw a great year from Jaden Daniels. He was able to stay healthy. They went all in with Washington. They got them way farther than anyone thought they would go. Fizz, last year was a disaster. So I'm just really hoping that Jaden Daniels, if he was able and I knew that he could stay healthy, I'm going to take Jaden Daniels ahead of Lamar Jackson in fantasy football. I would. But I'm not going to do that going into next year.
Okay. So you say going into next year. So what that mean?
So what do you mean? What does that mean? I'm going to take both of them. I'm going to draft ahead of them. Yeah. Okay. So for NFL and see, Patty's on the same page as I am. I'm going to take Lamar in the NFL and in fantasy ahead of Jaden.
All right, brother.
Who's Jaden going to be throwing the ball to outside of Terry McLaurin? I love Terry. He's a Ohio State player. Who's he going to be throwing to? Zach Ertz is coming off a major injury. You know what's so funny, though, Fizz? I was just thinking about this. This is another thing with NFL versus fantasy football. Zay Flowers is a top 12 wide receiver last year. As a Ravens fan, I didn't see any of that. Where the hell was that?
This is why we like the conversation, fantasy versus football, because people don't understand. It is a difference, but it's so much closer than what you really think.
Yeah.
But you being a fan, you like, hold up, bro. How the hell this man ranked top 12? I didn't see it at all. I watched every game. So, all right, I'm with you, man. Let's see. Running back.
Okay.
Your boy, Achan versus Jonathan Taylor. Fantasy versus football.
Oh my God, that's so tough.
Achan, Jonathan Taylor, baby.
I'm going to take Achan in fantasy because I think there's no one else in town to compete with touches for him. I'm going to take Jonathan Taylor as an NFL RB. He's just one of the best prospects I've ever seen. He's been top 12 all but 1 year, I believe. But Achan's also been the same thing. Top 12 all but 1 year. So Jonathan Taylor, real life, Achan, fantasy.
All right, brother. Well,
what are your thoughts on these? What about that one?
I wanted to bring it up because I knew you were going to pick the way you pick, and I feel the same way. I feel the same way with you. Fantasy, I would take Achan because of the spike week momentum that he could have. But
so
not having no receivers is like new coach. So that one is a lot closer. That's why I brought that one up. But I think I'm with you on this. I agree with you. It's 6-7 on that one, brother. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Receiver position, Rob.
Okay.
Where we at with it, baby? Let's go. Drake London.
Pause. Yeah.
Drake London or Emeka and Buka. Receiver, fantasy versus football. Which one you take?
NFL. I think this one's a little bit easier. NFL, it's going to be Drake London. I mean, that guy is super scary. Especially on the perimeter. I mean, when they do line him up in the slot, he's really, really good too. He actually performs better when he's lined up in the slot because of just how much of a mismatch he is.
Yeah.
But his QB situation is so terrible. So I don't think so for 2026, I'm going to take Drake London in both of them. I am.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, that's why
with Emeka as the number one undisputed now in Tampa Bay, I think it might not be too long until Emeka is a solidified top 12 guy with Baker Mayfield in fantasy football. So I'll take Drake in both 2026. After that, I'm going to take Emeka because I don't know what the situation is for the QB in Atlanta.
This is true. That's why I asked the questions, brother. That's why I asked the question.
They got freaking Tua and they got freaking Michael Penix. And also, too, Emeka, what does he have to compete with? Bucky Irving in the run game? Freaking Drake London has to compete with Bijan and Kyle Pitts.
That's why I asked the questions, Rock. That's why I asked them, my brother. I'm going to ask you one more then, because this one right here is close. I think it's really close, especially for people not outside of me. CeeDee Lamb versus George Pickens. Receiver, fantasy versus football. Where we at with it?
Man, this one's a really, really good one because, George Pickens.
If he stays with the team and, all that stuff.
George Pickens outperformed CeeDee Lamb in both NFL and fantasy last year.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened with CeeDee Lamb. That was so uncharacteristic, but here's the thing. I've brought this up in the past before, Fizz. CeeDee Lamb might be a little bit overrated. If you're a top 12 guy in only half of your career seasons, it's like, you're good. You're maybe even great. But there are guys that are like on a Hall of Fame trajectory, like Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, that do it every year. Jamar Chase, he has more top 12 seasons than healthy seasons. There was a year he missed more than a month. He was still top 12, Fizz. So in comparison to those other guys, I don't think he's as good. And I'm just saying all this to delay the fact that I don't know. As far as like, it's so hard to be able to pick between both of them.
Well, my argument with that, I got to argue with you. My only argument with that is Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, all these guys had the same offensive coordinators. CD has had Mike McCarthy. He had Schottenheimer. He had different people calling the plays.
Zach Taylor for Jamar,
yeah, they've had consistent play callers. CD done had a couple of different guys. So that's my only pushback. But where you at with it, man? You ain't asked the question, man. We want to tight ends next. Where you at with this receiver?
I want to be hot takey. I want to be kind of controversial. I want to pick George Pickens over him that I can't. I don't want to look like an idiot. I don't want to be too hot takey. So
we talking fantasy and
I'll take
football.
CeeDee Lamb for both next year. Like if I'm on the clock, I want to draft. If I have the choice between CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, I'm going to take CeeDee Lamb over him. But what will most likely happen is I'm going to skip on CeeDee Lamb, wait one more round, and then get George Pickens.
That's what I like to do. But I will say this, I do like that CeeDee's value has dropped again because this happened 2 years ago. I couldn't get him 2 years ago when he had that top 1,700-yard season. Everybody wanted him. Now that he done fell down, I can get him at a respectful price, and that's how I like to draft my boy, baby, because he coming back next year, Rock. So let's get back to the tight ends, though. I got to ask you, I got to do it because I think this one right here going to be closer than what we think, only because of the situations.
Okay.
Fantasy or football? Colston Loveland or Harold Fanning?
Man.
One is the number one target on this team right now, currently. One is
very
damn good.
I think both of them are the number one targets on their teams, Fizz.
Well, I say Fanning has more targets available. Let's just say his counterparts might not be ranked.
Did you see what Loveland did against the Packers, Fizz? He took over that game. And now with DJ Moore out of town, I think both of them are the number one targets easily on their team because you want to still keep waiting for Burden. You want to still keep waiting for Odunze to take over. I'm not sure that's going to happen. So for me personally, I'm going to actually take Loveland in both.
Okay.
I think Loveland is going to be better in fantasy because of that Ben Johnson offense and with Caleb Williams. Harold Fannin, I still think he could be the best on his team, Fizz, but I'm not going to take what we discussed at the beginning. I'm not going to take great players on bad teams over a great player on a great team. So even though Bears are kind of like they're distributing their targets everywhere, I'm going to take Colston Loveland in both of them. But Harold Fannin is still a top 6 tight end.
Well, when I say number one targets, I mean we talk about upside. We always talk about Rome, Luther Burden, what they could be. We don't talk about any upside in Cleveland at all outside of Harold Fannin. So I'm just saying when I say number one, I mean he's literally the number one target on his team.
Quinshawn is great, but he's coming off a huge injury, and they have no offensive line. I mean, they just had to pick up in free agency. They have to like pay top dollar and do all these trades just to get an offensive line for this. We don't even know if it's going to be good or not.
All right, well, 2 more. We're going to go to rookies this time, baby. 2 more. We're going to go rookies with landing spots. Jeremiah Love. Jeremiah Love is one. We're going to go running back. Oh, you know what? Let's go 3. Let's go quarterback. Okay. Mendoza to the Raiders, right? So he's with the Raiders. Fantasy or football, Rock? Mendoza to the Raiders or
ask what I think you're going to ask.
Cam Ward and the Titans.
Oh, that's easy. I wanted to go with Mendoza.
That's easy?
I think you were going to ask Dart. Dart would have been much more difficult. So what do you think that one would be? You're going to take Dart?
I'm taking Dart 100%, bro.
Okay.
Look at what he has. He has Malik Neighbors. He has
Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is a comparable in the NFL circles. He's just as good.
You said Brock Bowers?
Yes, Brock Bowers at tight end is still an elite level receiver.
But now we're talking rushing. I'm taking Dart, right? I'm just taking Dart in that situation, bro.
I don't know what Mendoza is going to be as a rusher. Also, too, Jackson Dart is in the medical tent every other play. So, like, Mendoza, after a whole season, is probably going to have more rushing yards than Dart.
Rob, I'm going to be honest. Cam Ward, to me, I think is going to take a very big step this year. And I think the Titans will build.
With Wan'Dale Robinson?
Okay. All right. I'm glad we're having this discussion.
Tony Pollard is your leading rusher.
So, Mendoza over Ward. You're taking Mendoza in both football and fantasy.
Yes.
All right. We're going to move on then. I ain't going to go back and forth too long. Running back, though. Jeremiah Love. To the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans take Jeremiah Love, fantasy or football.
Okay.
We taking Jeremiah Love, or are we going
Genty? That's would be the biggest question for me.
Nah, not Genty. Jeremiah Love with the Tennessee Titans, or are you going James Cook with the Buffalo Bills? And we talking 2026. 2026.
James Cook has been so consistently good. And he's been
and
like,
people still don't respect him.
I just want to kind of just really quickly pull up what he's been. I'm pretty sure he's been top. I know he's been top 12 like every season. He might have been.
He led the league in rushing last year.
So, I don't even know that.
Yeah. Him and Jonathan Taylor was, I think, back to back. He led the league in rushing.
And this is taking too long. I'm sorry about it.
It's okay. Take your time, brother.
Yeah, he was 6th in PPR last year. He was 8th the year before. He was 12th the year before.
So Jeremiah Love or James Cook? Because a lot of people are going to take the new fresh toy. James and Jeremiah Love. So you let me know. Love or we cooking, baby? We loving cooking or what? You love to cook?
I do love to cook, and I'm gonna actually go with Jeremiah Love because
so fantasy versus football. You gotta let me know which category. Where we going?
And I know if I'm being smart, Fizz, and not picking with my heart, I'm going to take James Cook in fantasy. I'm going to take Jeremiah Love in real life. That's what I'm going to do. But
so are you?
But I'm going to end up doing Jeremiah Love in both.
All right. I disagree on that one, but all right, cool.
Why do you disagree? Because here's the thing. My tune may change in 2 weeks. Fizz, you know what I just started yesterday? I started my rookie process with putting all the metrics in. I haven't even gotten to Jeremiah Love yet. I haven't started watching him. So that may change in a couple of weeks. I want to see if all the hype is him, be even some people prefer him over Ashton Genty. I think I'm going to come out and say Genty, I think, is better than Jeremiah Love. I think I want to do that right now, today, but that might change in 2 weeks. But yeah, that's the only thing. I'm just starting my rookie process. So,
all right. Well, I saw somebody in the chat earlier. It might have been Patty. Yeah, Patty asked Cornell Tate or Lemon, and I'm gonna put you in the landing spot. You let me know where we at with the two rookies. Cornell Tate, Cleveland Browns, or Mekhi Lemon, Miami Dolphins.
As I just said, I just started it yesterday. I don't know about either of these guys.
Cool. So
you have to be the one that picks for this one.
Pick the better landing spot.
What was it between the Dolphins and where else?
I'll give you this. Cornell Tate is more to me of a number one receiver in a number two's body. Like he's kind of like a Devonta Smith-ish kind of guy where he can take the game over, but he probably needs a good counterpart. Mekhi Lemon, who I think is the better receiver in fantasy. For me, I think Lemon, if he plays in the slot where he should play, I'm going with Lemon in this one. So if Lemon plays in the slot and Malik Willis can get him the ball in the slot, I'm going with Lemon. But if Shedeur Sanders holding up the rollie, baby, I might gotta go with Tate. So you let me know, Rock. Better situation. Forget the player now. Better situation. Okay. We talking Cleveland Browns or the Miami Dolphins for two guys that are not number ones on their
Miami.
team. More like
I'm going to take Miami. I'm just never, ever going to pick the Browns. They're always going to be 32nd out of 32nd when it comes to their situation, Fizz. It's always going to be awful.
This is true. This is true.
That's
right, well, this or that, that or that. It ain't this. It is whatever it is. All right, baby. So Lemons and Tates, it is what it is. Rock. I felt like we had a good one this morning. I had one more thing I want to bring up before we close out. It was a trade that I saw. Garrett Wilson. I'm glad I meant to bring this up during the Garrett Wilson conversation.
All right.
I'm gonna ask you this, and I'm gonna let you get your words of wisdom.
Yeah.
Jalen Waddle traded to the Denver Broncos. If the New York Jets traded Garrett Wilson to the Denver Broncos, one, give me your better receiver, Waddle or Garrett Wilson, and two, what would that do for the? Okay. So, do you think? If the Denver Broncos did that, what would your reaction be? Like, what would be like your feeling versus the Jalen Waddle situation currently? Because I saw something was like a scenario with it. I think Denver Broncos asked about Garrett Wilson and the Jets told him no.
Waddle's in the best situation he's ever been in, and then so I think for a fantasy perspective, Fizz, you can we've been wanting Jalen Waddle to have that another top 12 season like he had his rookie year where he broke the receptions record. And we haven't seen that because of bad QB play the last few years. Garrett Wilson is far more talented than Jalen Waddle. I think Jalen Waddle has the speed. He has some other things. But as far as like what really wins in the NFL from a wide receiver's perspective, Garrett Wilson has pretty much everything. So I would want him to be he would be like top 10 to 8 wide receiver immediately in fantasy football if Garrett Wilson went to Denver. That's what I would think.
Okay.
Like so it would be between like him and like CeeDee Lamb, I think. That would be the discussion. He would be in the Nico Collins category for me. That's what I think with Garrett Wilson.
So basically what you're saying is Garrett Wilson has a better chance to outperform Courtland Sutton than Jalen Waddle, pretty much.
Yeah. And like,
because remember, Courtland Sutton is still there. I'm not sure Waddle just comes in and moves Courtland Sutton out the way. Like, I think it's going to be closer than what people really think.
I think he does, because Courtland Sutton does not have the high ceiling explosive ability. Jalen Waddle can catch a ball and then go like 50 yards for a touchdown.
Sure. I think that helps Courtland Sutton, though. I think that helps him, though. I think it opens up the field for him.
It does. It does. I think Courtland Sutton will have finally a top 12 season, Fizz. He was 13 last year.
But I'm with you, though. Oh, he was 13? Damn. Hold on.
He was 13 last year, Fizz.
I feel like you. I was under a rock, and it wasn't you. I'm trying to figure out what the hell going on. 13? Damn. I slept on my
he's barely missed it a couple of times. Barely missed top 12. He's really good. So one of the most underrated wide receivers in the NFL is Courtland Sutton. But yeah, people sleep on him.
All right, man. Well, your favorite person is here, man. 13 seconds is definitely we on the last 13 seconds. So give us a word of wisdom, man. And we're going to get up out of here. But I do feel like this is a good conversation. Fantasy versus football, reality versus fantasy, however you want to frame it, what you want to call it. I think the idea of what we see on the field, sometimes we don't see it on our teams in fantasy, but we go into it, like I always say, Rock, with our heart. You can tell me whatever you want to tell me. When it comes to you owning something and you having the control of something, you want to create it the way you want to create it. I don't care what nobody tells you. I don't care what you tell me. So I like this exercise, though, man. This was a fun one. This was a good one. I'm glad you put the stamp on it after I came up with a whole bunch of gibberish. So let us know what we got, baby. Close us out, man, and let's get up out of here, big dog.
All right, Fizz, my word of wisdom for this week. The most important thing in life is to be free to do things. There are only 2 ways to ensure this freedom, though. You can be rich, or you can reduce your needs to 0. If a man can reduce his needs to 0, he is truly free. There is nothing that can be taken away from him, and there's nothing anyone can do to hurt him. It's my word of wisdom for the week, Fizz. That is a quote from John Boyd. So
here we go, big dog. Well, I don't have any words. I think I said too much already. But hey, I feel like it was a good one, brother. So yeah. Hopefully next week, man, we come back with something new, something fresh, man. We're getting closer to this fantasy football reality now. The draft is coming up. I think it's April. April is tomorrow. So starting April, NFL draft is cooking, everything going up. Drafts will start happening soon. But I think Rock told me that the 20th, 21st, whatever that
might
day
change
is on that Tuesday.
That might actually change.
Right. So I'll be quiet about it then. So I just say this. Until the NFL draft, we're going to try to cook some things, put some things together, man. But we appreciate y'all tapping in. Hopefully y'all enjoy the show. We'll catch you next week, baby. We out of this thing, huh?
Keep cooking, good looking. See you guys.